We are at the Capitol with Senator Harry Coates. Senator Coates, thanks for having us in your office.
Well, thanks for coming up.
It's always good for constituents to come up and talk with you.
Oh, we love to have them. We wish more constituents would come to the Capitol, see this beautiful building, and just visit with us.
Recently, coming back into the district or just outside of your district, you were able to hear some concerns of area businesses at a legislative luncheon. What did you learn?
You know what? I was in Senator Laster's Senate district, and I was his guest at the Shawnee Chamber legislative lunch, and you know, learned that Shawnee has some of the same goals as much of the rest of my district, and one of the things that they want to get accomplished is to rehabilitate the railroad from Shawnee on down to McAllister to help the businesses along that line. So I was real happy about that. They want to keep businesses strong, do the things that are going to help commerce within the area, and you know, that's I was real pleased. I mean, I was so happy that they have an agenda. I mean, this is what they want to get accomplished, and I think many chambers don't necessarily have these goals set out there, so where they know where they're going. But Shawnee's definitely got it going on, and Senator Laster has the main portion of Shawnee. I just happen to have the portion that's north of I-40, and I was appreciative that he would have me as his guest.
Well, and that goes to show that it's important to have insight and have an opinion about what's happening up here in all of our government. Our chamber, of course, with the railroads, that would play a major part in some of what is your district out in the industrial park just north of Shawnee. Talk a little bit about the impact that improved railroads might have for the entire area.
Well, as you know, we're struggling keeping up roads right now. I mean, and the bulk of the damage that's done to roads and just the normal wear and tear is not from automobiles. It's from truck traffic. And if we're going to be able to keep up with the cost of repairs, I think we're going to have to move more and more of the freight to rail. And it certainly is a convenience issue, and trucking companies do a great job out there. I mean, there are some items that are time sensitive that have to go by truck. Rail is a good component, though, of that. And if we could get more of the products that don't have a shelf life to them, get them on rail, and let these trucking companies who are just running full speed ahead most of the time take care of the products that need to go to a particular point, and still they're going to have to use the trucking companies to get it from the rail to the end user. I think it would help a lot. I mean, we're really I think stressing our trucking companies right now in that we're moving so much stuff across the roads, and certainly our highway system is not able to keep up. I feel sorry for the truck drivers out there having to drive on some of these roads and the wear and tear on the trucks of the trucking company, because they're just our roads are getting in pretty rough shape. We just don't have the dollars to keep them in good repair.
Well, in talking about that really seems to be the issue with our railroads, is being in good maintenance or in good repair so that trains can actually move across those rails at the speed in which they have to. What are the obstacles, or the main obstacles, that we're facing with our rail system?
Well, right now, from Oklahoma City to Shawnee, it's a very, very low speed limit on that rail. I think it's something like 20 miles an hour, as fast as it can move because of the condition of the line. From Shawnee on to McAllister, it's the line is virtually unusable. I mean, you just there's not enough good ties in there to even hold up the rail. So the price tag on the rehabilitation of that portion of the line is somewhere probably between $50 and $100 million. Right now, the state of Oklahoma does not have that kind of money to spend on that line, but it'd be so good for commerce between Shawnee and McAllister that it'd help all of us. So I'm hopeful that at some point we can get that line rehabilitated and see freight back on the line.
Well, and something that I've heard, Senator, is that is it privately owned line, so that the state really doesn't, unless it comes and takes over the line, doesn't really have, I guess, jurisdiction? Would that be the proper word? Or is that a hindrance as well, in the sense of ownership of the line and how it is to be maintained and utilized?
Well, that's a tough issue. Yes, it is owned privately by a particular railroad, and you know, they're moving their freight a little bit longer route right now. They get paid by the mile, and so they don't necessarily feel that it's in their best interest to spend all those dollars. I mean, we're talking $100 million is a lot of money to spend, and what they're telling me is it's just the economics are not there for them to do that. So in any kind of deal, any transaction having to do with property, you have to have a willing seller and a willing buyer. Well, right now we don't have a willing seller, at least at a price that the state of Oklahoma can afford. And so that's where we're at on the thing.
Well, is there any action that can be taken now, or is there any way that we can look towards the future of possibly making the rail lines better through this area that is the concern of the businesses in the Shawnee, Seminole, and all of that region?
Well, I think at some point we're going to have some federal help with it. We just don't have the dollars here now. So I'm hopeful we get through this next election cycle and maybe push our congressional delegation to help us find the dollars to rehab the line and maybe get a short line operator on there that can make money. I'm not sure the large operators will be able to work it, and I mean they have so much going on right now that they probably wouldn't be interested, but maybe a short line operator like AOK Railroad or somebody like that could probably make money on the line.
It's an issue, the railroads, that could benefit all of business throughout the entire region. And it's this simple, Senator, to talk to our elected officials about issues that are important to everyone, or even just important to us, wouldn't you say?
I would say that, yes. We'd invite anybody to come up and just visit with us about your concerns.
And that's the process. That's how you get the ball rolling, and that's how we make our communities better. Senator, thank you very much, as always, for talking with us.
Well, thanks for coming by. Appreciate it.